Kids, I'm gonna tell you an incredible story.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
It's gonna be legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Expecto Patronum!
I am no Jedi.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Assemble.
Man, what an intro. I'm sorry.
What an intro.
We need to humbly brag because that intro is just so cool. It gets me going. It gets me so hyped. It gets me so hyped. Welcome in to the Carbonite Crew Show. We have a name. I think it's called the Carbonite Crew Show. I think that's what we're going with.
We don't really know. We're just kind of winging this.
That's what it is this week. That's what you're watching right now. I can't speak for like 2 months from now, but that's what you're watching right now. It's the Carbonite Crew Show. Today is
Works for me.
Thursday, February 24th, for all you fine folks. That's the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a time traveler, and that is the day it is right now. Right? Yeah. We can pretend it's
We'll
live.
go with that.
Yeah, that's cool. What is going on, everybody? We are here talking pop culture, Star Wars, fandoms, all of it. We are here
All the things.
to just to talk all the things. Before we hopped on here, we were just talking about football. We talk about everything, but we're not gonna bore you with football. We're gonna bore you with other stuff. That is our plan. So, yeah, welcome in. How are you doing, man? You doing okay?
I'm hanging in
You
there.
okay?
A
Okay.
week off the COVID. So right after we finished recording last night, I kind of just fell off a cliff essentially as far as my well-being went.
The show
like
was
I
so
was
sick
almost-
it made you sick.
It was something like that.
Okay.
Like within 2 hours after we got done, I was like, "Oh no, something's happening here." So I had the COVID, had that, went through a rough bout with that, but I am feeling like 95% at this point, I would say. Got a little bit of a
That's
cough
good.
left over, a little bit of congestion left over. I think I'll be able to sleep it off tonight and be kind of ready to go. So that's the hope, at least.
I'm glad you're feeling better. I know you had texted me saying you couldn't taste anything, which is literally the worst thing I think ever that could happen to anyone.
What a weird
Like-
sensation, man. It feels so weird.
You know what though? And I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. So don't hear what I'm not saying, as you like to say. But like I have this thought like everyone should work retail, right? Like everyone or like experience
Yep.
customer service. They should.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone, not because you're sick, but I just feel like everyone should experience what it's like not to be able to taste anything for like 3 or 4 days. It is wild.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It is a
because
very weird sensation.
and it's like I tried in my head, I said, this could be okay. I could, I know you ate less, you said. Maybe
Oh,
eat
yeah.
less, or maybe I could eat healthier. And I was just mad for 4 days. Like every time I put something, ate something, I was just furious. Knowing I would not be able to taste it, I tried it anyway, and I was mad all the time.
That's hilarious.
No,
Yep.
it's not. It's not funny. It's quite the
It-
opposite.
Listen. I went through it too. Okay, so I'm right there. The only issue is I didn't have any appetite because I was just like pretty much a walking
Sick.
corpse at that point.
Yeah.
But like we made spaghetti one of the nights, and I tried to have that. Literally tasted like wet noodles. It was not pleasant, might I say.
I don't like spaghetti to begin with, so I can't imagine it would be any different in my experience.
Just imagine taking all of the flavor out of it.
That sounds better than real spaghetti.
Then my wife made
that's what I meant.
my wife made this chicken recipe last night, and she was just like, man, it doesn't really have a ton of flavor to it. And I was just like, well, I can't really give my input here because nothing has a lot of flavor to it. Oh man.
Excuse me. You can't even be like, no, this is delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just have no idea. It's just like noodles and chicken. I don't know.
That's hey, if there's ever a time for it just to not, be flavorful, it was that time.
There you go. That's a good point.
I mean,
good point. I wasn't
okay.
really missing out on anything.
She joined you in your experience.
Yes, she did, just on accident by making a recipe she found. But
I think she was that she was what for sickness and in health. That she was like taking that literally. She's like, I will join him
for
in this
sickness and
experience.
health. And since I can't join in the feeling like death part, I'll just join in on the not being able to taste part.
Yep, exactly that. Exactly
Oh
that.
man. Well, I'm glad she at least decided to do something.
You know who can taste? You know who can taste? Hank the freaking Tank.
Dude, Hank.
Hank.
So Hank is who I did not feel like while I had COVID. I did not feel like Hank wanting to break into people's homes and eat their food.
Yes. So Hank the Tank is he is pretty much an actual tank. He's a 500-pound black bear. Is it Lake Tahoe? It's Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe, yeah.
In California. Also crowned King Henry. So I don't know what this man's name is. They don't even know what to call him. They just call him whatever he wants to go by that day. That's how much of a force he is. He it says this article says he appears to have skipped hibernation. But yeah, he's this 500-pound black bear that's just been breaking into people's houses and like stealing their food,
like breaking through windows, knocking. It says breaking through garage doors because he knows there's food on the inside.
That's That's terrifyingly intelligent. Like, I mean,
Isn't
I know bears are
it's
intelligent,
scary.
right? And like he must have nothing to lose. He's like, I want food, and I'm gonna get food. And
because you got to think about it, it's not because he is a 500-pound black bear that he can break a window. Like any bear could break a window.
correct.
It just doesn't know to go break a window. But what if?
What
if now? What if he teaches other bears, and all of a sudden there's like 15 of these bears breaking into people's homes looking for pizza?
Are you talking like? So, like, I guess the way I'm imagining it is Gallery of Rogues. If anyone's familiar with that from the DC Comics, they are a group of
No one
Batman
knows what that
villains.
means.
This they do. Why stop? The Gallery of Rogues, right? I hope I'm getting that name right. It's my DC. I need to brush up on it. Gallery of Rogues are Batman villains, and I'm just imagining this Gallery of Rogues type squad, but they're all bears. And there's not just like black bears. There's grizzly bears, the polar bear. Like, yeah, there's a polar bear now in California because of this. Like, they have recruited him.
Bears.
What, dude? There's a koala bear, a panda bear.
Gummy
like,
bears.
there is just this rogue gallery of bears that have learned to like break into people's homes, and the thing is, like, there's a Dane Cook bit about breaking and entering.
Yes,
B&E. Yes, B&E, and or like they don't actually take anything, but like I'm thinking of it like on that. Yeah, I'm thinking of it on the level like the bears, like they have no harmful intentions. They just want the food.
Yeah,
they want the B&E, if you will. They want the bacon and eggs. I think this is a California residents' fault because they're the ones cooking and making things smell so good, and maybe they shouldn't make good food. And there's a bear on their state flag, so
yeah, they kind of like
they're inviting that in, right?
Yeah,
you don't like
if I was on somebody's state flag, I would expect to be able to be fed whenever I wanted by whoever I wanted to have feed me.
Exactly. And I don't want to hear the excuse like, no, that's just a bear, not this bear. It's like, well, how does Hank not know that's not him?
Exactly.
How does Hank know that?
Exactly.
He's like,
It
that looks
looks like
just
him.
like me. That looks just like me. I do want to say, Hank is around 500 pounds. An
Jeez.
average black bear is 1 to 300 pounds. So this is like the
Oh.
Brock Lesnar of bears. He's just here to to take over. It's kind of terrifying. Oh, what's it say? They've received more than 150 calls about Hank. He's broken into nearly 40 homes, causing severe damage in the last 6 months. I assume that's just to property, not to people. Or to the meals, like severe damage to the meals.
Emotional damage.
This local guy in this article told CBS News, he's like, I've been in town 40 years and I've been locking my doors recently, and I've never done that. I got a plethora of questions for you. First off, Tim.
No kidding.
Like, that's just stupid that you don't lock your doors. I don't know where you live.
All right. Second of all, Hank's not turning doorknobs. He's breaking them down.
Windows. I'm beginning to think Tim is in on this. This sounds fishy.
Oh.
This Tim Johnson guy, I don't know about you. I don't. The more we don't feed them, the more this isn't going to be the case. What does that even mean? Like, bears are coming for your food. Hank is. King Henry is. Like, he's coming. It does say, unfortunately, that the authorities are saying they might have to euthanize him, though, which is a shame because he's grown so comfortable around humans. This just seems like a comic book story. Recruit him.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly intelligent.
That's what I'm saying.
He would probably understand what you would tell him if you're like, hey, when we got to there was this idea, like, get Nick Fury in there. Like, we had an idea.
Has anybody checked to make sure he's not like carrying around a sign that says like "will work for pizza" or something?
Yeah, like, put him to work. People need. I mean, everyone's hiring. I'm sure someone will use his skills.
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure that there's a lot of things a 500-pound bear could do.
Yeah, like he could be he could be the quality assurance at a window factory or something. Like, maybe he is actually employed by a rival window company, and he's trying to get business drawn into these neighborhoods.
We've gone on too long. That's quite the theory you've got there.
Have we? Oh man, I'm just beginning. I'll move on from this, but my theories are just beginning.
Hank the Tank is my spirit animal, man.
Like, you mentioned bears where you live in Virginia, and like, if there's
got
anything, like, Hank the Tank would cause me to move near you. If there were if he was around you, I would move there.
That's fair.
Do you think insurance covers that, like, damage by a bear? Like, in all sincerity, it's weird. That's a weird situation.
I would bet yes.
I mean, after 40 homes,
probably gets. Yeah, I bet it's covered under like whatever, like wind damage would be covered. You know, like I bet it is. I bet
I'm
so.
sure that's not at all this category that it's under. Those are two very different. I mean, I guess I see where you're coming from.
I'm sure it is.
The bear flew into my house.
What about random kid hits a baseball into my window coverage? It's under that same thing.
Yeah, I imagine that would be closer than wind. That sounds more feasible to me. Let's move on from Hank the Tank. He's amazing. He's a gem. We will revisit Hank the Tank. Hopefully, it's under good circumstances and not under unfortunate news. We don't need another Harambe. Let's just say that.
Oh gosh, we do not.
What is that? That was 6 years ago now?
Was that really that long ago?
It was 16? Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's almost 6 years ago.
But, wow.
The Bengals are avenging him. Will the 49ers avenge Hank? If anything happens. I don't want anything to happen to Hank. Maybe he'll just disappear. But needless to say, let's talk about Doctor Strange.
Let's do it.
Doctor Strange 2. Well, it's not Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Which, just the other day, I will say, for some reason, I think I kept calling this movie Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Whoa.
I feel like that's kind of important. Maybe not. But no, it's totally important. It's Marvel. He's in the Multiverse of
It's just
Madness.
not normal. Like, that's not the normal wording.
It's not. Dude, I saw a theory, and we're going to talk about, we'll get into, like, what if the show and how that might tie into this. But I heard a theory the other day. What if, no pun intended, so it seems like we might be bringing in, like, X-Men characters or characters from the Fox universe.
Right.
And obviously they've always been separate. In WandaVision, we got that version of Quicksilver, which ended up not being Quicksilver, but he was
I
Quicksilver in the
forgot
Fox.
about that.
Yeah, exactly. Someone mentioned, what if this movie, and I kind of hope it's not true, because I kind of feel like it's almost a cop-out if it becomes true, but this movie might almost reset stuff where the MCU, again, will be its own thing, and then the multiverse will kind of be everything else, and they can kind of make their own movies outside of the MCU. So, like,
That's what I was saying last week.
were you saying that last week? I don't know if I like that.
I was trying to.
Okay, I don't know if I like that. Because
I think I do, but like when you're constrained to the MCU, there's just things you can't do. But when you open that door, then you get the ability to do other things. And I think that's better. I think it's better to have the flexibility.
So are you thinking of it in terms of, let's keep the universes separate, but they are allowed to intermingle at certain times if we need it to? Like, in that sort of sense? Like it's its own thing, but if, like, you know, Doctor Strange comes into the X-Men movie for a blip second because they need his help or have a question, like, that can happen. Like, where it's
No, I don't like that. I was thinking if, like, but I guess they don't need to, like, my thought was, hey, let's make it an option to make a movie that's completely separate from the MCU, right? But I guess they could just do that. They don't need
But if you
this
have the
thing to do
multiverse, you
that.
can do that. I guess,
Exactly.
but if you have the multiverse, I guess you could use the argument, like, now we have to, like, talk about what universe we're in. I guess that could be an argument, because I feel like that's a big thing with the X-Men movies, is, like, it got to the point where it's like, I don't know what timeline I'm in. So,
Right.
so I don't. You know, one thing I am worried about, I will say, is Deadpool coming in. I kind of don't want the Deadpool meta-ness for the MCU. Like, I'm so emotionally invested in everything from the last 12 years of my life, from when I was, like, 12 years old, to, like, I don't want that to be ruined, to be like, can you believe Chris Evans played 2 superheroes? Like, I don't know. I don't want to hear that on the big screen. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, it was funny in the X-Men universe when he was like, oh, Professor X, which one, McAvoy or Stewart? Like, a little one like that was fine. It was funny. It was in the Deadpool movie. Like, I don't want, like, I trust Marvel. I think whatever happens in this Doctor Strange movie is gonna, I have hope it'll work out. There's been very few Marvel movies where I've, like, walked away and been like, no, like, just no, or I try not to think about them. Like, very, very few.
Which
projects.
ones are those that you didn't really like?
Captain Marvel, straight up. I can't do that movie. I'm just being honest here.
That's so weird to me. But okay.
It just, like, I don't know. Maybe I'll feel different with the next Captain Marvel movie if it's, like, more, like, set in, like, present time, like, with what's going on. I don't know. Like, I can't put my finger on it. It's so hard to explain. I loved it the first time, but then the more I watch it, the less I like it. It's weird. Thor 2, it's okay. I mean, it's a Thor movie, so that's cool.
Right.
Iron Man 3, it's an Iron Man movie, but Nothing special. Do you have like any MCU movies where you're just like, nah?
Yeah, I think Thor 2, Iron Man 3 are both in there. I did not love Eternals
Okay.
by any stretch of the imagination.
I did. I didn't love it. Like, if I take out my MCU brain out of it, I think it's a really, really good movie. But I think I like it because of what is coming. Like, I think I like the seeds it planted more than anything.
Okay.
Like the post-credit scenes and stuff like that. Like, I think I like what it did there. And I will say this. I'm sure there's some people out there that agree with me. I'm sure there's some people that will think I'm crazy. But I do think that movie proved, I don't want to say proved, but led a solid argument saying that Thanos was right in what he did. And what he set out to do. Which is funny because we see Clint Barton in the Hawkeye show drinking coffee out of a mug that says Thanos was right. So, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
You see that somewhere else too.
You might.
I know. I kind of want one of those.
But this Doctor Strange, Patrick Stewart came out recently and said people have been imitating his voice for years, so he can't give his speculation on how people heard his voice in the trailer. I'm like, okay. Okay. Ryan Reynolds is saying that he is absolutely positively not in this movie. And there are memes galore, I'm sure you've all seen them, that say, I'm somewhat of an Andrew Garfield myself. Which is obviously a play on the Green Goblin's line and what Andrew Garfield did. If Deadpool came into this movie and had like a super meta line like that, where he like straight up said that would be everything. I think that would be hilarious. Don't know how Deadpool fits in this movie. I do think Professor X is in this movie. Will it be the same version of we've seen in the past? I don't know. But listen, as far as Doctor Strange and the series What If goes, that was on Disney Plus, animated series, absolutely amazing. Steven finally just watched it. Did you finish it?
I did finish it.
It was amazing, right? Like,
I really liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, more than I was expecting. I won't lie.
It's funny.
I didn't have high expectations.
It kind of like, I remember like in the lead up to it, and even the first episode or two, like it kind of leads you to believe it's just this like animated series. Like, what if this movie were like this, or this movie were like this? But every episode, you're like, it connects a little more, and a little more, and then by the end, you have this Avengers like movie.
Yeah.
Which in the last episode, it's basically like a rewrite at the beginning of like Winter Soldier almost too, which I thought was awesome. I think the show, it was dark. It wasn't this like fun, like happy-go-lucky, like cartoon, like
so dark.
What if this happened? No, it was like, no, Doctor Strange totally just destroyed the literal universe he's in. It has to be confined to a bubble because he's so dangerous and nothing else exists now. And that's the end of that episode.
Yeah.
Like, you're
right.
When I watch that, I'm sitting there like thinking, like, there's just no way that's the end. And the end credits start rolling, and I'm like, no way. Like, the way I felt inside, I was like, this is not okay. This is not a good feeling. I don't want to feel like this after a show, especially an animated show in Marvel. This is weird. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of speculation that What If is going to tie into this movie, or that this movie is like a live action version of What If. We saw Strange Supreme in the What If series and how dangerous he was. We saw zombies, which appears that we're getting in this movie. I did come across an article and from the direct.com with the producer of Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. And there's some interesting quotes in this that I want to touch on. So this is with Richie Palmer. He's a producer for this movie. One thing he did say in this interview is, quote, after all the decisions he's made over the years, this movie really shows Steven reckoning with himself. Okay. That's going to be crazy because like we saw him basically doing that in the What If series and how that ended. and it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With him trying to rewrite saving Christine Palmer, and his intentions were good and pure, I think, but like
Right.
he was told to stop, and he kept doing it, which that feels very Spider-Man No Way Home-ish with what Peter was told. Like, no, don't do this. But let's try to change it anyway. So I think that's interesting.
Yep.
And
Man, that was brutal. Let me just say, watching over and over and over again him try to like redo that car crash. My goodness.
can you imagine mentally, like, even if it worked, even if finally he got it to work, like, just he would remember all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's like,
It
even
really gives you like the perspective on why he did the following actions.
and as a thing, like, it's just it's so heartbreaking. In this
It really
interview
is.
with producer Palmer, he says he hopes to do justice, quote, justice, by
Mm-hmm.
in the Multiverse of Madness. So this is a quote from the producer. He says, "Things get pretty trippy. We loved that episode of What If, and we hope to do it justice. It shows another version of Doctor Strange, one who let the universe he lived in be destroyed because of his love for Christine. If he was capable of that for a selfish reason, is that something that our Steven would be capable of doing too?
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to think, no, our guy's the hero, but you never know." End quote. Oof.
Right.
Oof. One theory about this movie I love is that the villain, because there's tons of talk of villains. Is it gonna be Nightmare? Is it gonna be Mephisto? Is it gonna be Mordo? Is it gonna be an evil Doctor Strange? Or another one from another universe trying to like destroy a universe? Like, we really don't know. And one of my favorite theories is that the evil Doctor Strange we see, or Sinister Strange, or whoever it is, I don't know yet, if it's actually our Stephen Strange. Like,
Ooh.
what if it almost is What If? Like, we saw what happened to that Stephen in What If.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if that Stephen Strange went back to the beginning of all of that and told him, you can't do this, you have to stop. What if that's what we get? Like, it's ours. It's not another
Whoa.
universe. It's not an evil version. You know, maybe he's a little more messed up because of stuff he's done or seen or
Right.
whatever. Like, what
Mhm.
if it is actually him trying to correct his mistake?
Yeah.
Like,
That'd be
this
crazy.
this movie's for sure gonna be trippy. I just
Oh my gosh. So
Mm.
trippy.
I cannot wait. I am so excited. And like, the fact that we're coming off of No Way Home, I just I don't know. I love how Marvel movies were so, they play off of comic book storylines, whether they change
Mhm.
something or anything like that. It's stories we loved, stories we know. They make them work, and it makes us feel safe. It makes us feel, like kids again.
Yeah.
Stuff we grew up with, right? But it's like, I feel like the further we go along with this, it feels even more like a comic book. Like,
Mm.
people in other people's movies, we started getting that with like Black Widow and Iron Man and Captain America. But like, we're getting like Doctor Strange, one of the main Avengers now,
Right.
is a lead role in the Spider-Man movie. Now we're getting like Wanda,
Yep.
a lead role in the Doctor Strange movie. Like, this is a Doctor Strange movie, but I mean, it's not like Wanda's making an appearance. Like, she's a part of the
Yeah.
story just as much, And I think that almost, maybe you could say it really began with Civil War, with all those characters like being very
Yep.
integral parts
Yeah.
of the stories. But I just love how like these movies are almost actual comic books. Like, they're in each other's story because they need to be part of each other's story. It's not just
Mhm.
these little one-offs like Iron Man 2 used to be, or Iron Man 3. You used to make the jokes like,
Mhm.
where's everyone else? You're trying to
Yeah.
save your world right now. What's everyone like? No, every story is world endangering, so you do need someone else, like,
Yep.
or more people. And I love what we've gotten. And I will say there was a time when I was worried it might be a little too much. But Kevin Feige's the man. He's proved me wrong. And
They have done a great job with it.
he's so good. He's so good.
There's no doubt about it.
No doubt.
All right, so what is one prediction you have for Doctor Strange?
Kang the Conqueror is in this movie.
Yeah, that makes too much sense. You know, like
Yep.
he almost it almost has to be, right? Like it almost has to tie back to that because that's what started all the multiverse stuff.
But yeah, so that whole Loki show is gonna get super wild. Like I don't know what to think because so if you look at the season finale of Loki, the whole thing was he explained basically they're at the end of time. They're at the end of time, right?
Right,
At
right.
the end of Loki. So that means everything Kang references in his speech or his spiel to Loki, he already knows about, including the events of whatever we're about to see. That's already happened. Whatever happens in Doctor Strange has already happened, and Kang already knows about it because they are already at the end of time. They're literally the last ones. Like, yeah,
Whoa.
it's a very overlooked detail, I feel like.
Yeah.
But
right.
like, I won't say the ending of this movie, but like the events of this movie are not referenced in that, but like are a part of of his knowledge, you know? So
Sure.
and that's the thing where it looks like we're gonna get some sort of form of the Illuminati in Doctor Strange. Like, I almost wonder if Kang is on that group.
Right. I wonder where he's gonna fit in.
Maybe not the one we saw, but he talks about very openly his variants and how many of them there are. Like how he's seen like a million lifetimes. Like,
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the original is on this panel or this group.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Pretty cool. I really liked his character for the one episode we got of him or whatever. But
Well, he's supposed to
so I'd be
be
pretty pumped.
the main villain of Ant-Man and the Quantum Verse or whatever the movie's called.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I don't like that as of right now. I'm hoping that Ant-Man movie like makes the Ant-Man character feel very, very big, no pun intended, and like important. Because I just feel like the Ant-Man movies have almost just been a standalone thing for the most part.
Yeah, they've really fallen flat for me.
And yes, those. See, I didn't even think about those when we were talking about movies that fell flat earlier. Those didn't even
Ant-Man
cross my
2 was
mind.
one of the ones I think about because I actually really enjoyed Ant-Man 1, but I enjoyed it as it's like as almost separate from the MCU kind of thing. But when Ant-Man comes into the rest of the MCU, he feels like
important.
I don't know if it's
like to me. I mean,
yeah, it's weird, but you're right. I
like
hope
they
they do
could have done more,
something
yeah.
with this third one. Yeah.
Yeah, and if Kang is the big bad, I gotta. You know what's maybe Kang being in Ant-Man, it's one of those things where it's like it's not the Kang we know, it's just a version of Kang, and then at the end, like a worse version of Kang comes along and like totally Thanoses the whole thing up, and he's like, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Because like Kang talks about in Loki, he's like, "Oh, like there's way worse versions of me," like. So maybe that's what we'll get. Like I think Kang is like the big bad, right? Of this next phase, whatever it is. Or maybe
that's
kind of
what I was thinking too. Yeah.
I imagine. And I think they did it in the most brilliant way because they almost did it in a very Loki way, and I'm sure that was very intentional, where it's like you almost just love him. Like the version we got, I love him. I'm like, yeah, give me more of him.
Yeah.
So I am so excited to see what Jonathan Majors does with that character. Like, I hope he gives us performances where it's just like, I hate this man. Like, who?
Yeah.
But then you have the lovable one where you're like, oh man, like, I just got so excited again for all this. Loki is do not sleep on these Disney Plus shows. I feel like some people treat these Disney Plus shows as the animated Star Wars type shows where it's like they don't matter, or they're
Mm.
just
Yep.
they're on Disney Plus. It's like no, these are so important.
They matter so much.
They met like, especially WandaVision and Loki. Like I won't be surprised if Sam Wilson, Captain America, shows up in this Doctor Strange movie.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He seems like a pretty big player, and we haven't really heard anything from him except
Right,
the
yeah.
show, and that didn't seem like a huge thing, right? It seemed like its own like little
Yeah.
thing. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. Staying on the Marvel topic, I want to talk to you about this. There is a report going around that Spider-Man director John Watts is reportedly in talks to helm a Star Wars series. So I guess moving from Marvel into Star Wars, we'll kind of transition that. John Watts did helm all 3 Spider-Man movies the last few years, concluding with No Way Home, which was an instant classic among fans and critics alike, I really think. Yes. I yes. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm in for that.
This article does say it's a mystery series, mystery Star Wars series, but it sounds like it's going to be a show, for Disney Plus. I'm cool if you want to do a movie.
No kidding. I'd take a trilogy, movie trilogy. Please and thank you.
This is exciting. It's as of right now. This is all very rumored, right? And we've seen with Star Wars how people get signed on and they get let go or they walk away. So who knows what's going to happen? But John Watts has won our hearts over the last 5 years. And as of right now, this series is being described as Stranger Things in space. Okay. I'm all for it. It focuses on a younger generation of heroes during the High Republic era. So
okay.
Those unfamiliar, the High Republic era is a newer era of Star Wars we've been getting the last few years, focusing on like the high times of the Jedi. I know you've been kind of delving into those novels a little bit.
Yeah.
I started one of the books and just stopped. There is also a series right now that we do know called The Acolyte. And I guess that's actually set in the final days of the High Republic. So there's already some overlap there, which is good. We don't know for sure. Nothing's confirmed, obviously. I think John Watts, Star Wars and their directorial choices have been pretty... The bar's been set high. Let's just say that. Bryce Dallas Howard, just they've been good. Dave Filoni, they've been good. I don't know what I don't know. What if John Watts? What if there's a young? No, the timeline wouldn't match up. I was gonna say for Qui-Gon, but timeline won't match up.
Oh no, way too early for Qui-Gon.
Oh, I did learn reading this article about John Watts. I didn't know this, and I feel like you're gonna be happy to read this. I don't know if you read this article previously.
I did not.
I know you're really gonna like this. He's helming the new Marvel Fantastic Four movie.
I didn't even know that was a for sure thing, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah. So if you actually look back at when they released their Phase 4 projects, the last logo was the Fantastic Four logo.
Oh, maybe I do remember that.
Which a lot of people thought. I know I was one of them. I was like, does that just mean Phase 4? I was like,
right.
It does kind of look like the and it was confirmed it was Fantastic Four. Reed Richards and Doctor Strange, hopefully. So
John
that's
Krasinski.
good news. And John Krasinski. So that's good news for the Fantastic Four, because I know you had a very bad experience with the last Fantastic Four that came out.
Oh my gosh.
As I think everyone who saw it did. Just by sitting there. I always say I think you should have to see that movie at some point in your life to know how bad a movie can be.
Did we see that one together?
Yes.
I feel like we did.
I think we did.
Garbage.
I remember you saying you literally almost got up in the middle of it to leave. I remember that.
So bad.
the director takes fault. He says he didn't understand the characters fully, and and I'm like, good, yeah, take that blame because it's your fault. I mean, it's not all your fault, but it's mostly your fault. I mean, like I wouldn't volunteer to like make a Kang the Conqueror movie. Like I don't know enough about that character.
Right.
And if I
I just
did,
remember the cast being so good.
yeah, like Michael B. Jordan,
And in the movie,
Miles Teller, like it was a good cast. I think the movie was dead in like the first 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was written and produced. Yeah, it was terrible.
It was it was just so bad. Could you, dude? George Lucas would have done a great Fantastic Four movie over that movie. We probably could have had Star Wars dialogue in that movie and it would have been better.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so bad.
Could have been so much better. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
like it makes the original Fantastic Four movies, not that they're bad, but like look like A+.
like really like high A+
A+.
stuff. That's funny.
It's so bad. But yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens with this John Watts stuff. I'm excited. I hope it's true. The series is apparently operating under the working title Grammar Rodeo. Star Wars and their working titles have been mysteries to me since day one. They just legitimately make no sense. I don't either. The Empire Strikes Back, or no, I'm sorry, A New Hope was literally called Blue Harvest. None of it ever makes sense. I love it. I love it so much. It says the series is dependent on his busy schedule.
Okay.
So to me, that
So
says
it might be a while.
It might be a while, and also says to me, we want you so bad, we will work around your schedule.
Right.
Jon Favreau reportedly attached to produce. That's good. That is good. Can I sidebar on this show for a second? So
You are allowed to do whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'm glad. Let me I just need to pull a piece of information up. So I recently learned that Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie from A Christmas Story, actually works with Jon Favreau a lot. And I did not know this. He played the scientist in Spider-Man Far From Home in 2019 that helps Jake Gyllenhaal and Mysterio. He's the scientist. My mind was blown. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I knew this actor was an elf. Like, oh, cool. Did not realize the same guy. Now that I know, I totally see it. It's him. Didn't realize how much older he was, but it makes sense since it was like 15 years difference. But I just want to say this. And if you want to fight like digitally, like let's fight digitally, you and I. Sure. I told Steven the other day, can you believe this? And this man has the audacity to text me back and say that he does not care for A Christmas Story. Like, I didn't know you didn't do you not celebrate Christmas, I'm guessing, right? That much.
Do I not celebrate Christmas? I do celebrate Christmas, actually. I just happen to only really like, good Christmas movies.
What do you watch? What do you watch? Like,
here's the thing.
Hallmark movies?
Almost any other one. I would rather watch a Hallmark Christmas movie than A Christmas Story. Anyway, that's not the point.
It's exactly the point.
I would like for you to go ahead and pull some of the people you know that are below the age of 30. Let me know how many of them actually like A Christmas Story. Okay. I think you will find yourself on the wrong side of history, my friend.
Okay, so you want me to pull everyone under 30? That's the age? Like 30 or like 35 and under? You do 35 and under or 30? I know a lot of like 31 and 32-year-olds. Can I pull them or no?
35. I don't care.
Oh, no, I'm going to do this. I'm coming back next week, and I'm going to tell you my results.
Okay.
That is happening. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And for anyone watching or listening, leave a comment in the YouTube video of if you think A Christmas Story is a good Christmas movie, or if not, why you're wrong. Because, straight up, if you think A Christmas Story is bad, explain why you're wrong. It's that little explain at the end of on a test when you're like, ugh. So you put the other answer so you don't have to explain.
Yeah.
No, explain why you're wrong if you don't like it. It's
Listen,
a classic,
I'm not saying.
dude.
I understand that it's a classic,
I'm gonna take you to the Christmas Story house.
but it was made so long ago. It's so cringy the whole time.
Okay, it was made in 1983. It's the same year as Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. 39 years ago, Tyler.
Oh my god. I don't. Do you don't get to like? Do you not like it because it's old?
Probably.
Okay, well you don't get to watch New Hope anymore. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Nice try. Joke's on you though, because A New Hope is set in the future, and we're
That's
not there
true.
yet.
Because A Christmas Story is actually set in the 50s, so you actually got me there. That's a pretty fair argument. Actually, no, it's set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You doofus. Wow.
Don't call me out on a technicality.
Wow. Okay, I will say one thing I never
Oh,
ever
man.
want to happen that I'm full no on. I'm pretty open to ideas and movies and TV shows, and I don't ever cross the MCU in Star Wars ever. The Star Wars references in the MCU, fine. Don't ever have a Jedi show up. No.
Oh man.
I will be.
What? Oh man. What if they did?
I'm not gonna be that guy that says I'm done, but this is as close as I'm gonna get to saying it. That's not.
They totally might though.
That's the problem, and that's why I'm so mad. Because I feel like it's imminent.
There's going to be an animated series called What If Marvel and Star Wars were in the same universe?
And if you want to make the happy-go-lucky and it not matter, by all means, give me that movie or show. I would love a What If series on Star Wars.
Ooh.
That would actually be really fun. Because I feel like the books we've gotten from a certain point of view have done a good job of giving us side stories from literally other certain points of view. I'd almost like a show like that, like an animated show. From a certain point of view. With some of the short stories animated. I think that would be really, really cool. We'll have to read some of those stories here on the show and just kind of how they kind of connect to the bigger picture. Because some of those really do.
Yeah.
Anyone unfamiliar with the whole from a certain point of view, there's 2 books I think out now, and they follow episode 4 and episode 5. And one of the stories in the first one is literally R5D4, who was the red droid. We've seen him in The Mandalorian now. He's the one that blows up when Luke is buying droids, and they have to take R2 instead. Well, this story is told from the perspective of R5, and the story literally goes R2 told him about his whole mission, and he knew, so R5 knew he needed to go with C-3PO and be with these people, so he purposely made himself blow up.
Whoa.
And that's canon. As of right now. That's canon.
Yeah.
So it's so it's these little things, right? You watch A New Hope, and that moment right there is for a reason. It doesn't just happen.
Yep.
And I don't know. I would love some kind of animated series like that. I think it'd be so fun.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Kid doesn't like Christmas Story. I'm just done. Can't believe you.
Listen, I'm not saying it's this bad movie or that it's poorly made or anything like that. I just don't enjoy it. And that's all there is.
All right. What do you think about the rumor that there will be a young Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series?
Yeah, so I've heard this rumor. And if it's one of the episodes where Bail Organa reaches out to Obi-Wan and he's like, yo, Obi, my daughter, she got captured, or this happened and I need your help. And Obi's like, yep, I'm on my way. I'm fine with that. I think that'd be a cool little one-off story. And It makes sense because I feel like they would be in contact, Bail Organa and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
For sure.
And if Bail was in like really deep doo-doo, I feel like he would call Obi-Wan because, like if I was having a really bad problem and I could call Obi-Wan Kenobi, I would. Absolutely
That's fair,
would.
yeah,
I'd be like,
definitely.
hey, yo, look, I got this issue. Can you help me or not? I know you're not doing a ton on Tatooine over there, so can you come give me a hand?
Wow, way to reveal my location over the Bluetooth. Thanks.
Oh, so sorry. Oh, shoot.
Thanks.
Oh man.
Wow.
But anyway,
Wow.
so if it's like
Oh,
if it's a
wow.
one episode or even like a 2 episode, whatever, I'm okay with that. I think that could be interesting and kind of fun. But I would really just like to see him do some different things throughout the show, I guess. I want to see him almost Mandalorian style in season 1, really, where
Man,
like
this is
every
just season 3 of
episode.
The Mandalorian Part 2.
Oh gosh, oh my goodness.
I'm just
Um
kidding.
what if like the 3rd episode it's just the Mandalorian the whole time doing stuff and we're just like, okay guys, what? Like are
What
we
if
just like sending the wrong files out at this point? Is that
I
what's
hope
happening here?
no, I I hope Bail
Like some
Organa shows
intern.
up. Yeah, just ruining everything. I hope Bail Organa shows up in the 3rd episode. So that'll be, there's 6 episodes altogether. 3rd
Mhm.
episode at the very end, or maybe this is after we see young Leia and stuff. And Obi-Wan's like, "Well, I need your help to fight this crime organization on Tatooine." And then Bail Organa says, "I'll help you, but first I gotta visit a little friend." And then episode 4 is
Oh
him
my
on Dagobah.
gosh.
Is Bail Organa
Oh
on
my
Dagobah
gosh.
visiting Yoda? That's all. And that's all. And then
That's too much. That is too much. But anyway, so I want it to be almost like every episode is a different storyline and he's doing all these different things and it's like, oh, that's cool. We got to see this. That's cool. We got to see this. But I'm fine if they want to do a young Leia. I suspect we'll see young Luke as well.
I would say no one's really talking about that, but we're gonna see young Luke. We all know that, right?
Right? Like it's almost for sure
Because
because
we're
that's
getting
why he's there.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Like that's confirmed. The actors from
Right.
Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
So yeah, like we have to and so this show takes place, I believe, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So it'll be 10 years old.
Okay.
I'm surprised none of those castings have leaked out.
Yeah, me too.
They've done a great job at this.
They've kept this show under wraps.
I
We know nothing.
I almost wonder how much of this they filmed during the other shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems to be the
Yeah.
smartest thing to do is you just film everything kind of at the same time if you know what's going to happen.
Right.
That way, because like we've been so preoccupied with like the leaks of him, like Ewan McGregor and his beard and his mask, and he's wearing all these things. We're not like, oh, there's like
Yeah.
a 10-year-old child on set. We're not going to find out who that kid
Mhm.
is because
Yep. Right.
he's important. They've done a really, really good job. Yeah, I don't know. Then again, we've all been preoccupied with Spider-Man too. So now that that's
Mhm.
over. That's
Man.
which we'll I'm not gonna dive too much into the Obi-Wan stuff because I know we're gonna get into that next week too.
Right.
This did start as a Star Wars show, so we will talk about Star Wars quite a bit. I'll just be completely blatant and obvious here, but I found something out today, and this story, it doesn't matter. It has no effect on the world, and this is gonna sound really weird, but like I can't wait till Spider-Man comes home so I can check out the other Spider-Men because Tom Holland came out in an interview like yesterday or today and said he's like, I won't say who, meaning it could be him,
Uh-huh.
but he said one of the actors or like one of the Spider-Men in the No Way Home has a fake butt. He's like, because when I was watching it, I thought to myself, no, that's not real. And he's like, and I can confirm one of them was digitally altered and has a fake butt. So now I have this homework assignment when the new Spider-Man comes out to watch all the
Oh
Spider-Man
my
and to
gosh.
see who has a fake butt or not, because I have no idea. I just
Oh
oh,
man,
it's Andrew Garfield, but it's fine.
it's got to be Andrew Garfield, right?
I can hear Andrew
He's got the
Garfield
body
now.
type.
I can hear Andrew Garfield. I don't have a butt. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. That was all made up. It's all photoshopped. Actually, when he said it was all photoshopped from the get, he was just talking about his butt and all those interviews.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, the news we needed this week. I will tell you that it was announced. They did say Spider-Man will be released digitally. I mean, on Blu-ray. I'll tell you when I pull it up on my Google machine. It will be released March 22nd. Digital March 22nd, Blu-ray April 12th.
Okay. So
And
still
that
got a little
announcement
bit.
was followed with the Spider-Man meme of all three of them. Official release now. Great photo, by
Nice.
the way. That photo is up on our Twitter and our Facebook because it is lovely.
It's hilarious.
I love the photo too because you can tell it's not like it's just like a hey guys, try out the pose. Like it's
Right.
them just it's not like it's just gray backdrop. I love it. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Spider-Man is the best. Andrew Garfield is the best. I'm so happy people love Andrew Garfield. He's my hero.
He's kind of the bomb.
What?
I said he's the bomb.
You know why I really I think why I love him so much? Because he has
Why
a
is
British accent and he wasn't born in England. He was born in California.
Wait, what? Did he move there or did he like?
He is an
Weird.
English and American actor, but he was born in LA, and I think he has the accent because he just grew up in England.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I did not know that.
He's great, and it blows my mind that he's almost 40 years old. It doesn't seem
Well, that
possible.
is way older than I realized.
Yeah, he's like
How old
what,
is Tobey Maguire then?
38?
57?
No, dude, he's like 67. Tobey Maguire is 46.
What?
Yes. That's crazy.
46. Wow.
He was only like 28
Do
when the
40
first
do
Spider-Man
40-year-olds not look as old anymore because we're old?
Oh man, I don't like that. Why would you say that sentence? I don't like that. I have a trouble psychologically comprehending that I am past the prime of NFL players. Like I play fantasy football, you do as well. We have we talk about it. Like I have a hard time talking fantasy football sometimes because we'll talk about things like, yeah, that player's like 29, don't pick him up, he's past his prime. I'm like, bro, I'm not I guess I'm not almost 29, but close enough. That's not okay. It's not okay.
Right. We're on the wrong side of 25 or whatever,
I literally don't know how old I am half the time.
You're 27 right now.
Thank you. I keep thinking I'm 28. I don't know.
Nope, you're 27 for a little bit longer.
We are the same age.
For 3 more months.
Oh, my mother texted me. Shout out, mom. Shout out, mom.
What's up, Wendy?
It is my mother, Wendy. Yeah, I think that's all I got for today's show, to be honest. I'm happy with ending on a Spider-Man note.
Works for me.
I'm happy with ending on a Spider-Man note. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment with ship names. We're still deciding on that. Leave a comment if you think Christmas Story is a classic and good Christmas movie. Yeah, I will say before we leave, you said Obi when you were talking earlier. I don't really think I've heard anyone say like, "Hey, Obi." I kind of love that.
Somebody says it. I think
I
somebody in the
think
show uses it
I think
in a movie or a show.
I
We'll have
think
to, I'll have to
Iron
dig
Man
around.
uses it in Iron Man 1. Because isn't the guy's name? It's Obadiah. I think he says Obi.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
I
That
think that's
actually
where
kind of
I've
sounds
heard
right.
it. I think that's where I've
Okay,
heard
okay,
it.
okay.
Marvel's casting is just spot on. We will see you guys next week. All you geeks and gals, like, subscribe, share the show. Check out video clips on YouTube as well for segments if you don't want to watch all hour of us, because I totally get it. If you don't, trust me. Don't know how I put up with him for an hour. I don't know. But thank you for watching, listening. And until next time, may the Force be with you guys.